Hello everyone, my name is C Tactics for the Win, otherwise known as Ben, and today we are going to talk about some Citrus. Now recently I read the complete original Citrus, and I thought that I would put out a video detailing what I think about Citrus now that I've completed it, because you can go back on the C Tactics channel, and you can go back and see in my original coverage of Winter 2018 from last year, what I thought about it, and I was very disappointed. I was disappointed because I felt that May was ruining the show, the whole incest subplot thing. It just didn't work out for me. But I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna reread it, I'm gonna give it another shot, and I'm just gonna put it out on the Bento channel just as an extra video. So, with that being said, I kind of enjoyed Citrus a little bit. I did. I enjoyed it more than I originally thought I would. And I think a lot of that really just comes down to the manga art. I really do. I mean, this manga is perfect. And if you don't know, the art and the story of the manga is by Saburota, I believe, or something like that. I'm sorry if I mispronounce her name. There were a couple instances later, around the late 30s, early 40s maybe, where it seems like she ran out of time and it was incomplete. But even then, I kind of liked that because it was fascinating to see. You got to saw a different side of a manga, and that was really nice. But the character designs in this are seriously really polished. They're some of the best character designs I've seen in a really long time for a manga, like a shoujo manga. I mean, these characters look beautiful. They're so great. Harumi, Yuzu, even Mei has a really great design. Nina, Sarah, all of these characters have just beautiful, gorgeous designs. Some of the best designs I've seen in a long time, and they have depth to them. They have. If you look into their faces, you can see, especially around the eyes. The eyes have really nice designs, and Saburota, or whatever her name is, I apologize. She puts a lot of details not only into the face, but around the neck, the collarbone, the parts that are, important to have a lot of quality put to them. She puts in that hard work, and she is just terrific at it. If there is one thing you should actually read Citrus for, if you're on the fence, you should seriously consider reading it just to look at the gorgeous art. I mean, it really does look great. And what sucks about that is the backgrounds aren't good. Well, they're not. It's not like they're bad. They're okay. They serve their purpose, and this was an issue with the anime as well, which you're seeing anime footage or screenshots rather, because I can't show manga on YouTube anymore, or I'll get a strike. But I mean, I love this art. I love the depth of the characters. I love the details around the eyes, the neck and a collarbone. This manga has some of the best crying faces, you guys. Some of the best crying faces that I've seen in manga. I mean, she's very good at emoting these characters through her art. And there's also, in terms of the characters' writing, there's some hidden depth. And not only the art, but some of this story is about these characters. And sadly, the weakness of this is that they don't explore it that much. But I mean, they explore it somewhat in the Citrus Plus extra volumes. This is not the same thing as Citrus Plus. These are in between little chapters that give you extra little details, which, by the way, read those. That's mandatory. It makes the manga so much better. It really does. Just for example, I mean, Mei's father, he is a pretty fascinating character. He really is. He's this guy who left his old marriage and pretty much kind of left his daughter on his own to pursue his dreams. And I'm not going to say for an instant that I think that was the right choice. I don't. But I admire the fact that he went out and did it anyways, and he did it because he cared for Mei. He wanted Mei to have a really nice life, and that's kind of he's very protective of her, and that's kind of one of the reasons why he did it, and I like that about him. I really do. I think that's very admirable, and I think Mei's father and Yuzu's mother is like one of the most perfect couples in this manga, and there's not a lot, sadly, but and I mean, Mei, for what it's worth, has her moments as well. I mean, her father issues and how she deals with her sexuality, there's some hints there. There really is some really nice hints for this Mei character, and it made me appreciate her much more than I did when I was watching the first 4 episodes of the anime, because I dropped the anime long time ago after the 4th episode. I just couldn't deal with it. But reading this manga all the way through, man, Mei's really, like, I mean, she's got several, like, logistical issues with some of her writing, and I question some of it. She's okay, I guess. Yuzu is probably my favorite character in this manga, besides maybe Harumin or the ghostly looking girl. I really, really love her as well, but Yuzu is probably, like, just you know, in general, probably my favorite character. And she's so likable, and that's because she's the most consistent character in this manga, besides maybe Harumin. I mean, for one, she looks like a main character in any anime. I mean, you could... not any anime, but generally most anime, I feel like you could plop Yuzu into any anime, and she would be a fit as the main character because she's so likable. She's such a likable character. She's a great main character. She's consistent. Her writing is actually very good, even though the manga kind of goes in circles with its plot a little bit. You still like Yuzu by the end of this manga. She's just really, really fun. She's cool. I mean, she has a cool factor to her, and that carries her a long way. She's awesome. I mean, she keeps the manga going forward in terms of its story as much as she can, of course. Like I said, this manga tends to go in circles quite a bit, but and I mean, it's not only Yuzu either. I mean, there's great supporting characters as well. I mean, you have Harumin, who is one of my favorites. I love Harumin. Nene, who is hilarious. She wants she's like a really big fan of Harumin, and I love that because Harumin's great. I mean, how do you not like Harumi? Harumi's sister is really good too, Mitsuko. Mitsuko, man, she's great. Her name is Shiroha, the girl I was talking about before. She's a nice addition. She has a lot of funny moments, and she has this this funny ability rather, where she can kind of, like, I can't remember their names, the Waves girl from Fruits Basket. It's exactly like her, pretty much. And I just love all of the supporting cast in general. They're really good. They really are. If this manga can be commended for these things, it's art, their character designs, the supporting cast, and Yuzu Aihara. These are all great. I mean, and I really mean that. This manga is so good. This manga was so fun to read in certain places because of those things. And while I do have much positives to say, there are key negatives which I think keep this manga from becoming truly great. I just hate how she pushes herself onto other people and makes out with them. I just don't want to see that. I really don't. And I'm actually rarely given a reason outside of the last 10 or so chapters to really get behind Mei in her struggle, because we don't, even at the end of this manga, we don't know barely anything about Mei. There is barely any development for her. We don't see much from her. And to be honest, and this is probably a very popular one, Satsuki the Savage told me so, Harumi and Yuzu is a better couple to me. I feel like those two would create a much better, more consistent, more fun anime, because it feels like the mangaka had this vision of what Mei was, but never informed the reader on what that vision was, you know? Never actually showed any of that vision of who this character is. Whereas Harumi and Yuzu, we know they're best friends. We know they kind of act, a little too close around one another sometimes, and that's admittedly a thing that I also dislike about this manga, is that it seems everyone is into other girls, like just literally everyone besides Yuzu's mom, which it's a little cheesy, a little cringy to me, because I feel like we should have some variety there, but we don't, and that kind of sucks. And I mean, honestly, if you want to do the Mei thing, why did you make them sisters? Making them sisters is probably the worst thing. I mean, you could deal with like Mei pushing herself upon other people, because you could easily pay that off down the line, which they didn't do. Mei didn't need to be Yuzu's sister for these two characters to get together, and I know why she did it. She did it because sadly this kind of forbidden romance stuff kind of is very popular, and I'm not here to kink shame you or anything like that. I think that if you want to be into that kind of stuff, you really can, because it's just a fantasy, but it took itself really seriously, and it kind of sucks that it went down this route in a way, because I expected a serious story, and what I got was something that was you would see in a hentai or something like that. That kind of plot would be in a hentai. Not saying that this is the quality of the writing is of one, because it's for sure not. It's solid writing through and through, even though it goes in circles, which is one of my main issues. Is it just keeps going. It's 41 chapters, and those 41 chapters felt really long, especially in the middle. And I would have, I think if I was writing this, I would have explored the secondary characters way more. And I think she kind of missed out on that. I think that's what she should have done. I think she should have explored more of Harumi, more of Sarah, more of Nine, more of these characters, because the whole "does Mei love me" thing over and over, it really gets old. And what I believe is that suddenly when you remove the incest subplot, suddenly in my head everything becomes a little bit more interesting. It feels like a fetish, to get you in there. If you're into that fetish, oh, I like stepsister fetish. Let's read Citrus. And I don't like that. That doesn't do this story justice to me. I feel like the story would be much better without it. So basically, that's my thoughts on Citrus. It's okay. It's not that bad, honestly. It really isn't. I probably wouldn't watch the anime, only because I think reading this at your own pace is a much better experience than watching the anime, which has one specific pace and you have to pay attention to it for 24 minutes at a time. You can finish these chapters in like 5-10 minutes, and it's fine. I enjoyed my time with it, surprisingly enough. It was a fun experience, and I'm glad I went back and I read it. I really am, because I feel like I learned a lot about the Yuri genre by reading this, and I'm glad I did. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, head over to Satsuki the Savage's channel. I put this out on his birthday. I actually kind of made this video for him as a surprise. So go over to that channel. Links in the description. Make sure to subscribe and tell him Bento sent you. The best channel on YouTube. So I'll see you guys later. If you're new to this channel at all, click on some of these videos. I have a weekly Fruits Basket series. I also have a Patreon down in the description below. You can support me there if you have $1 to spare. And join my Discord, where we talk about Fruits Basket, Fate, probably Citrus and JoJo and all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.